All right. Hello, folks. I hope you're all well. Um, we got uh, we got 19 people in this little workshop here today. That's pretty cool. Is the sound coming through okay? Let's just do a little sound check. Can you hear me okay? Can you see me all right? Should be coming through. I think all right. You can just put something in the chat. You can. Yes, the sound is good. Thanks, Christian. Good to see you. No delays. Well, let's hope it stays that way, Christian. Let's just hope it stays that way. Paul, excellent. Everything's perfect. Fantastic. All right, really, really good. Um, so good, Mike. All right, great. All right, that's good. We're hoping for all that. Uh, so anyway, so today I'm going to be teaching the tune by Mississippi John Hurt called "Spike Driver Blues." Um, I've heard this song. This was actually one of the first songs I learned how to finger pick after I got through with, I think, Skip to My Lou. Actually, the book that I'm referring to is Happy Traum's book on finger picking styles for guitar. I've had that. Hey, Nazareth and John, good to see you. The thing with Spike Driver Blues is Mississippi John Hurt would play this, and it would just be over and over and over again. He would just sing a lot of verses to it. And what I wanted to show you is not only how to play the song, but also how to be a lot more creative with the song. That's kind of what I'm all about. I like teaching people how to be creative with the songs and learn something and develop some new techniques in the process. Now, folks, if you want to download the tab, there's a link right, I think, up there, if I'm pointing to it correctly. There, right there, there's the download tab link. So you can go to tinyurl.com/Toby Walker tab. Okay, you don't have to use the capitals, just put in Toby Walker tab. That's going to take you to my website. You could just go down below and you're going to see about in the middle of the page where you can download the tablature. And then just right above that, you're also going to see a donation link. Anything that you can donate, folks, it would really help me out because, matter of fact, I think I landed one gig in April, and it's going to be pre-recorded concert that's going to be streamed, but that's it. I have no gigs, and then I maybe until the spring, and who knows if anything's going to happen. So anything that you can donate, folks, was going to be great. I'm going to be giving away things like I always do. For $5, you're going to get a copy of this entire video. It'll be a YouTube video, and it's going to be like a private video. Only you will get it. It'll be of this entire session, and so you won't miss a thing. And I think for $15, you're going to get that plus the extra $10. I'm going to send you a MP3s download of my second CD that I ever put out, Cool Hand, and that one has a lot of cool tunes on it. But it is the CD that actually landed me a manager and a booking agent over in England. They liked that CD so much they decided to get a hold of me. For $20, I'm going to be giving you those two things. So it's an extra $5. I'm going to be sending you a whole series of lessons. It's called Beyond the Basics of the Mississippi Blues. And Beyond the Basics is taking you from the basic finger picking that you do, and it's going to take you beyond that. And in the process, you're going to learn songs by Tommy Johnson. I think there's Mississippi John Hurt in there. There's a bunch of Robert Wilkins, Poor Boy Blues. All of those are the video lessons that you can download. Plus, obviously, you get the tab. And then the last thing I'm gonna tell you about is my Premier membership. And the Premier membership, you get access to all of my videos, everything I ever put out, plus a lot of things that nobody else puts out. So that's pretty good. Rudy, I don't know why you're not getting any sound. Rudy, I would suggest if you can, hello, Andreas, I would suggest that you try another browser because you were having the same problem last time. I don't know what's going on, but everybody else seems to be, the sound's so good, and there's Uh, and I would imagine the sound's still good, folks. Is it still good, or is it just something that happened just recently? I know it looks like it's good on my end. If anyone lets me know that there's a problem with the sound, please let me know now. And or if it's okay, just let me know that too. There any sound? Do you hear me? It's okay. Grand Prix, it's okay. All right, thank you. Yeah, Rudy, try another browser. That's the only thing I can suggest because everybody seems to be. Mike has good sound and good sync. Everybody seems to be having okay, and it may be the internet connection, Rudy. I'm not sure. Um, anyway, yeah, Rudy, I hope you get that straightened out. You just had you had a Skype call. It's perfect now. Okay, yeah, darn that Skype. All right. So again, you can download the tab right up there, and anything you want to donate, that's going to be cool too. But as I was saying, the Premier membership, you get access to like over now it's over 470 video lessons with tablature, and you get there's a lot of other things in there too, a bunch of things, and you get a year's access to that. Normally, it's $125 for the year. But for anyone here watching on this channel, Twitch channel, I cut it down to $60. So that's a lot. You get like so many lessons, so many things, and actually, I think we have some people here that are. I think John is a member, and there's a couple other people that are members of the Premier website. All right, so let's try this out. Let's hope we don't get any more short freezes here. I'm going to play the Spike Driver Blues, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to be adding a lot of other things to it. All right, so here we go. All right, so that was Spike Driver Blues. Plus, you could hear all the other things that I was putting in there. I actually just repeated the Spike Driver Blues in the beginning a couple of times. Then I was improvising a whole lot, and then I went back to Spike Driver Blues again. So if you have your tab, we're going to be starting with this where it just says Spike Driver Blues. That'll be the first page in your tab. All right, so let's take a look at this. The cool thing about yes, the Fur Peace Ranch. The cool thing about Spike Driver Blues is it just stays on one chord. So we're really getting a workout with our right hand, but we're staying on a G chord, and there's not a heck of a lot of things people do with just the G chord, but I'm going to show you all kinds of things to do with it. Now, the whole time when John Hurt was playing this, he was alternating the bass between the sixth and the fourth string constantly. So that's what you want to do. You want to alternate that bass between the sixth and the fourth string. Now, it starts off in the very first measure, Now you notice I don't even have my second finger here. I don't really need it. And if you play a G chord like this, don't. You're going to need to play the G chord like this with your third finger up on that sixth string and your pinky right there on the first string at the third fret. So in that very first measure, I'm going to play it straight through. Now I start out with the bass. I do another bass with my thumb. I'm going to come back on the sixth string, and as I do, I'm going to put my pinky down on that second string at the third fret. My index finger is going to be working that second string right now, and my middle finger is working the first string. So I have a pinch with the sixth string and the second string, and then my middle finger comes in and grabs the open first string. So I have this. And then my bass comes down again. So all together it's this. That's the first measure. Now in the second measure, we're going to get up to a full G by getting our pinky here, and then we're going to come over to a little G7 over here. But here's how this sounds. So we're pinching the first and sixth string. I'm using my middle finger on that first string. Then another bass note. Then shift over to the F note and pinch again and bass note. Now we go back to now we're at the third measure on that first line. And what we have here is a little tricky stuff. Listen to that again. And it puts in one of my favorite little notes in when I'm playing the G blues, a little B flat in there. So let's take a look at this. Again, we're bringing our pinky back to the G, and we're pinching the sixth string and the first string. Come down with your bass, and right after you come down with the bass, come up with your finger on that first string. So we have. Now the bass comes here. And now with our first finger, now we're going to shift our first finger over to the third string, and our middle finger is going to be on the second string. Because what we're going to do is this next line is we're going to put our pinky down on that third string at that B flat note and hit it with our index finger. Then we're going to pick it up and grab the fourth string, and with my middle finger the second string, and then the index finger again on that third string. So you have this. So that third measure will sound like this. So I'll play that first line for you. Sounding like Spike Driver now. Now the next measure, Hurt does something interesting. He takes his second finger, and we're going to put it on the fourth string at the second fret. And with our bass, it's just sixth to fourth string. That's it on that. Now pick up that second finger. You're not really going to need it now in this next measure. And this next measure is kind of tricky. Listen to it. So my bass is going back and forth that whole time, but my index finger is hitting that third string at that third fret, and then my middle finger is hitting the second string, open, and I pick up my pinky. Now, as I put the two together, my thumb, index finger by itself, and then pinch with your thumb and your second finger. Index finger by itself, pinch your sixth string, index finger, pinch the second and fourth string. So your index fingers is coming in by itself here, and your middle finger and your thumb are pinching together. They're either pinching, and they're pinching that second string, but the thumb's either going to be going from the fourth string pinch or the sixth string pinch. So we have this. There's the fourth string pinch, pinky, sixth string pinch, pinky, fourth string pinch. So it's a little tricky measure. It's like kind of a good little warm-up exercise there. All right, and then the following measure, this is the third measure, we're going to pinch the sixth and third string together and put down our second finger on the fourth string, second fret. So that second line will sound like this. Now let's go over to the third line. We're halfway through. We're going to get that bass again. I'll play that third line, the very first measure. We have Grand Prix, a 1, 2, 3, 5, flat 7 melody. You're right. That's actually the notes that are being used. Actually, yeah, and it's not just the blues notes. We got the second note in there too. That A note in there. So that's kind of the 1, 2. We got a 2. There is no A note. It would be a flat third, and so we'd have a flat third and the major third coming in there. So let's hear that. Here's the first measure of that third line again. Now here the sixth string comes down. Put the pinky down on the second string at the third fret. Pinch the fourth and second string. Pinch the sixth string and second string, and then middle finger comes up on that open string, and then down on the bass. So we have. Now we come in with our first finger. This is the second measure now. And then finally, we're going to go, there's another little tricky measure here. So let's take a look at this. Again, we're using both fingers here too, because when this thing really starts rolling around, you're going to use two fingers to be able to handle the speed of it. So we have bass, index, third string, third fret, open fourth and second, put down the pinky on the second string by itself, pick it up, open first and sixth, back to the, and then, so we have, and then finally we ended up, so here's that third line. So I'll play that whole thing again for you. And basically I'm just going to run it through a little slower. And that's the Spike Driver Blues. That's pretty much what Hurt is doing over and over and over and over again. But now what I'd like to do is I want to show you how you can start playing a lot of other notes in here and a lot of other rhythms to sort of spice things up a little bit. Now, if you were singing this song, that's pretty cool. And then all you would really have to do is maybe start take a little solo with some of these ideas I'm showing you. Or if you don't sing, that's okay, because you have a whole lot of ideas in here that you can actually add to the song. So you can really create this whole cool instrumental. So the page that I'm going to now, and for those that, again, you could download the tab right at that link right there, or I can even put in the chat, there's the lesson link. There's the link that I put in the tab. That'll take you right to that lesson page where the tablature is that you can download. So now let's take a look now at the second page to this Spike Driver Blues. I call this Spike Driver Blues licks. Okay, and they're for the most part, the first 5 lines are just these 2-measure lines, and they go on over and over again. But once you get these things, once you practice these, I'm sure that you're going to be able to start mixing and matching them, and then you're going to get to a point where you're just going to make up things as you're doing it. That's how this stuff works. So hopefully that's what you're going to be doing. So let's take a look at this very first lick now, at the top of the page. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set my first finger down on the F and my third finger down on that 6th string. And I'm also going to be grabbing my pinky and putting it down on the 2nd string, 3rd fret. Now that for those of you that are not used to that chord, it's a good way. That's a good little chord to know. Okay, in the country blues. So I would suggest doing a little exercise like this. Just picking your fingers up, putting down your 1st and 3rd immediately, and then adding your pinky. So you could just do this to get used to this chord. Okay, so I'm going to play in with this chord. You're going to see me picking up the 1st finger and then putting it back down again. So let's take a look at this. It starts off pinching that 1st string, and then my index finger comes in and grabs that 2nd string. Now I'm going to pinch again the 4th string and the open 1st string, and then my 1st finger comes down on the F note. So I have and 2 more bass notes. Now the 2nd measure is similar, but listen to the difference. I'm adding the high G note at the end. There's the 1st measure, and then... Okay, so we got that nice little combination going on between those two. Let's take a look now at this at the 2nd line, because here we're really going to have a lot of fun with this. So this is a nice little lick to work into your hands. And again, my 1st finger is always on that 2nd string for this, and my middle finger is on the 1st string. So that's how that's going to work. So I'm going to be constantly pinching with my thumb and my middle finger while my index finger is taking care of the 2nd string. I'm going to be going back and forth between the 6th and 4th string, and my 1st finger is going to be lifting up and coming back down again, lifting up and coming back down again. I finally get to that G note. So it's a lot of bum boo, bum boo, bum boo, bum boo, a lot of stuff like that. Hello, Professor. Well, I guess you can call me a professor. I usually just go by Toby. Oh, hello to you too. Now, here's something really different when you're playing a G chord. This is going to be very different, okay? I don't see too many people doing this. I don't know why not, because it sounds so neat. a cool little lick, okay? So you can, this is the third line now, second page of your tablature. Okay, what I'm doing is, again, my going back and forth with that thumb, that's just staying back and forth the whole time. While my third finger's locked in position, I'm going with my pinky on that second string, third fret. Then I pick it up and put down my second finger on the second fret, and then I just move it to the first fret, and then open. So I'm going chromatically from a D, D flat, C, B. And the whole time I'm doing that, I'm pinching. Now the next measure, I'm going to get my pinky in on that B flat note. So I'm pinching that sixth string and the third string together with my index, and then my middle finger comes in, grabs the second string. And then that's just a fun little lick to throw in there. Now we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to change it up slightly. This is the fourth line down on the second page. And here we're going to be going from the G to the G flat or the F sharp, okay, and then to the F natural. So we have So let's take a look at this a little closer. Again, now some people may have trouble getting their second finger in there. You may find it easier to get your first finger in there and then move it back. There's no hard and fast rules here. As long as you get the notes, that's great. So we start out, again, we're alternating the sixth and fourth string, but now we're pinching that first string at the third fret, then the first string at the second fret, and then the first string at the first fret. So we have this, and alternating the bass. Now, right after I hit that last bass note, right here, I'm going to immediately get my index finger on that B flat note. So I have. Now here's the next measure. It just sort of continues over. So in that next measure, it's just the sixth and the open second string. Index comes in on the third string. So we have thumb comes down on the fourth string, but this time I'm putting my second finger down. And then I'm going to pick it up and hit the open third string. So we have two more bass notes. So that whole little lick is going to sound. Yeah, there's the major seven. We're getting all the notes in there. And the flat third, yes. So the root, flat seven, root, natural seven, major seven, flat seven, and then that little flat five in there. So that's that fourth line. Let's take it on to the last of our two measure licks. Okay, this is the fifth line down on your tab, and here you're going to be putting that whole chord down at once. Okay, your first finger on the F, your pinky on the D, and your third finger on the low G note. And here we're going to be using our first and second fingers to grab the two notes at the same time. So I'll play this lick straight through. So let's take a look at this. We have everything locked in place. Still going back and forth between the 6th and 4th string, but we're going to be pinching the 1st, 2nd, and 6th string together. Then bass, and then come up on the upbeat. So you get that coming back on the upbeat. And then 2 more bass notes. So we have. Now the next measure is kind of be cool because we're going to be picking our 1st finger up and putting it back down again. So let's take a look at this one. You give your hands a rest if you need to give your hands a rest. I know all of a sudden my hands was complaining as I had them down too long. Here with bass, then 4th string, 2nd string, and 1st string. Then pick up your 1st finger, grab the bass and the 1st and 2nd string, and just put down the 1st finger. And then pick it up, 4th and 1st string. So we have. And it makes no difference. You can actually do 2 strings the whole time. You can do that. That'll be fine. I have it like just where you're separating. You're just playing a couple of single notes there at the end, but that's okay. You can do this, any way you want, as long as you're gonna. That's the important thing in there, So just using these, ideas, okay. You can really mix and match these things once you really get the hang of them. They're really great little things to play. All right, so let's go on down. We have, we have in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th line down on that 2nd page. Here we're really going to be having a lot of fun, Oh, sorry. I'm just playing that that group. Actually, it continues. Yeah, it's just those 2 measures. So this one's kind of cool too. Here again, we're doing a lot of this stuff again with that 1st finger on the 3rd string and our 2nd finger on that 2nd string. And when I hit that B flat note, like I've been doing the whole time, I pick it up so I can hear the open 2nd string. Okay, if you want to do this, you can do that, but it's really up to you. I find that some students, when they first start doing this, they can't seem to let that pinky go, and it's like they don't have a choice, But be able to do this as well. Okay, develop that technique, and then you can decide which one you like. So here in that 3rd line from the bottom, 1st measure. So I'm going from back and forth with that pinky from that 3rd string over to the 2nd string. And I come down on the 4th string. And just right after I come down on it, my pinky comes in back on that 3rd string. So we have this. And that's setting you up for the next measure. Listen to how that sets you up, leads into the next measure. Right now. So you see how that, and we're getting that high G note in there. I'll just play that third line from the bottom, that second measure by itself. So that high G note is all on the upbeat. You get that. All right, so now we're coming down to the last. This last lick is 4 measures long. Okay, let's see now. So you get the. That's nice. Actually, you could use that as an ending if you like. That kind of sounds like it would be an ending. So let's take a look at this. This is now on that second page, the second line from the bottom. It starts out. So let's take a look at that, pinching that sixth and open second string, index on the third string, and then come down on the E note, and then pick it up. So we have then 2 more bass notes. And then, like we did before, get that pinky in on that third fret on the third string. So we get that. And then, so we get that. So actually, it kind of repeats. Now we get that pinky down. This is the last note on that last measure, the second measure, in the last line from the second line from the bottom. Now we're going to go. So let's take a look at this. We're going to start it off on that the second line from the bottoms. Okay, the last measure. Now we're coming in with our index finger on the third string, and then I'm going to hit the open second string. So I'm starting now the bottom line. So middle finger, index finger, thumb, okay, on that E note, middle, index, thumb. Right after you hit that note with your thumb, come up, hit the open string, use your first finger. So it's. Now the next set of notes are. So here I'm doing strict down, up, much like a pick. But every downbeat is with my thumb. Every upbeat is with my index finger. So I got this. Down, up, down, up. So I have that all together. Finally, we come back to that open G and bring our thumb over to that fifth string. You can now use your index finger to hit the B note and then thumb. Now you could also maybe hammer. You can do that too. So all together we have. And then get that open fourth string in it. So So that's how you can end it with that particular lick. Crashed Steam. Hi. Well, hi to you too, Crash Steam. So that's basically what I do with Spike Driver Blues. That I enjoy playing this song. I can't sing it in this tuning. Well, in this here, I actually have to capo it up at the fifth fret and actually play it way up here. But sometimes what I like to do, and this isn't in the tab, but I figured, this is kind of an interesting way to really move around the neck. This is a little bit more advanced, but sometimes what I do is I tune my fifth string down to a G, and then I'll tune my sixth string down to a D. And now, I'm just. Now, yeah, you might say that's cheating, and I guess it is, but by having the open fifth string and fourth string like this, it gives you freedom to move all over the neck. So you can really drive the purists crazy when you do that. All right. Because it's well, that's not the way Mississippi John Hurt played it. Okay. The whole idea of this is to learn these techniques, learn the songs, and if you're so adventurous, try other things with it. So that's another way you can really be really kind of creative with this tune, is just putting it into. Now remember, the first four strings, they haven't changed. So anything that you know on those first four strings, because I'm using some pentatonic minor scale, but I'm really kind of playing little licks, and I'm just going back and forth between the fifth and the fourth string. And this tuning is called G6 tuning. You only changed the fifth and the sixth string. That's all you did. So John said, these licks seem to follow the one chord, but measures 4 and 6 on the first part imply the 4 chord. Do you have any licks in that place to keep the harmonic structure of the verse going? I just string licks together. That's really what I do. And, when you say when you're saying that, measures 4 and 6, yeah, because you could see that's. But I don't hear that as implying, John. I don't hear that as implying a 4 chord. Because if it was implying a 4 chord, I would. I guess it could. Yeah, I see what you're saying. You got an E and you got a G there, right? But to me, it doesn't sound like a 4 chord, because this whole thing just keeps reverberating in my ears as a. Because we're hitting that open B so many times, and and we're actually starting the thing, you know, on a G. So in my ears, I'm hearing just G the whole time. So I hope that answers your question. I never even think of it going to a four chord here, unless you put down the first finger and keep it there on a C note, because right here, it's like it could be a four chord, but there's no C note in it. So to me, it just sounds like a continuation of a G chord, but maybe with an E note thrown in there, sort of like almost like a G6. That at least that's how my ears hear it, and I've never even thought about it doing that way. But who knows? You may want to put something in there, really change it around. So anyway, folks, again, I'll say for just a $5 donation, you can see the donation link right up there. You're welcome, John. For just the donation link is right there. The top, the donate link, tinyurl.com/Toby Walker. For $5. That's it. You have the tab to this, and I'll leave the tab up for a few days. But I'm going to send you the entire session, the whole video session, everything. It'll be a private YouTube link, which only you're going to be able to use, and you'll have the whole session. And then for $15, I'm only going to send you that, but for additional $10, I'm going to be sending you a my CD called Cool Hand, which actually has another video lesson in there. I'm going to send you it's all MP3 downloads, and you're going to have a video lesson. And I think for an extra $5, you get those things, plus you're going to get a whole set. There's like, I think 6 songs, and it's called Beyond the Basics, the Mississippi Blues. So you're going to be learning things like M&O Blues by Willie Brown, Down at Lonesome Valley by Mississippi John Hurt. You're going to be learning Poor Boy by Robert Wilkins. You're going to learn Bye Bye Blues by Tommy Johnson, and I think a Skip James tune in there as well. And that's just an additional $5. So that's for $20. You get everything. And then the Premier membership, that's the one I really think is a great value. $60. All right, that's less than half price of what I normally charge retail. You get access to every lesson I have ever produced. And I'm constantly, every week, I'm adding something new, and it's called the Premier membership site. So you get a whole year's access to all of these cool lessons. Plus, I'm adding hot licks in there. There's video lessons on that. There's a whole library of songs, individual songs. There's a whole library of cool vintage guitars like these in there. And there's also concerts that I actually upload. Like tonight, I'm going to be playing a concert at 7 p.m. And that concert is going to be uploaded right onto that Premier membership site. And I keep all of those concerts in there. So you get me playing these little streamed concerts. And I also add sometimes concert workshops where right here, I'll play a song as if I would play it in concert. And then I break it down. So it's kind of like a workshop that you would see at a festival. So all that's included for $60. Tons of lessons, finger picking Grateful Dead, finger picking, Mississippi John Hurt, finger picking Hot Tuna. It's all in there. So anyway, folks, I hope you've enjoyed the lesson. I hope you really had a good time with it. And it's tonight at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to be putting on a full-length concert, and right here. Okay, on the other part here, the other part of studio, but you're going to get everything. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I hope to see you tonight, but if not, have a lot of fun with this lesson. There's a lot of things that you can explore with this one song. All right, folks, have a great time. And I'm glad that Christian, you're very well. It's going to be fun to work with, Chris. Mike, you're very welcome. This is going to be a lot of fun to work with. The Spike Driver Blues is a whole lot of fun to work with. It's a great tune to get your right hand chops together, especially with what we're doing here. All right, folks, I want to say thank you so much, and we'll see you again next time around. So take care.